We've got a new event in DC Dark Legion. It's called Heart of a Hero. It is a board game event. Seems very similar to the last Valentine's event that we got last year, right before global launch for the game. And just want to take you through a few things. They have added a couple of things that seem to be popping up in some of the newer events, and there are newer ways to earn some of the rewards for the game modes. So let's jump through all the different aspects, and we'll go from there. So Share the Love is going to be your daily driver for sending out gifts and receiving gifts. You're going to be able to open 200 and send 200 gifts, where you'll be able to get additional resources like roses from Love's Peak that we'll talk about in just a second. You can earn these gifts from defeating the Dark Legion, Crisis Response, Anti-Crime Network, and daily tasks. Over in Love's Peak, this is where you're going to get access to memento boxes as rewards for collecting roses and submitting those. You're also going to be able to work on your Eros' arrow, which is a mechanic that we'll talk about on the board game in just a moment. Over in Love Shack, this is where you're going to be doing tasks for milestone rewards, and you can also purchase the additional epic and legendary tiers that are going to get you access to more dice. I will say this feels like they've taken away some of the dice you used to be able to earn here. Can't confirm that. I guess we'd have to go back and look at other videos to see that. But you can earn, it looks like, up to about 58 dice if you buy all of the passes. Otherwise, you're just going to have like the base level one, which is really just designed to give you a dice, like one dice or two per day. And now we go into Aphrodite's arena, and this is where you're going to be doing pretty much everything that you do to earn points here. Obviously, you can buy additional dice packs. You can get your frame over here by purchasing as well. And then you're just going to be using those dice to go around the game board. You'll eventually get the ability to speed up to 2x. You can do auto, and you can also spin 2 dice at a time. And I think it costs about 25 gems to do that. You will, after getting rolling 20 dice per day, you'll get these daily tasks to get some additional dice and anvils. There are quests that you can complete. I've done all of them, but these quests will allow you to get additional dice. You can see your rankings, event logs, all that sort of stuff here. And then you have Eros' Blessing here. You can get, once you max it out, you'll have 3 of these a day, but you can basically choose what you want the dice to land on. I think that's really helpful for trying to get to the right places on the map. And I'll tell you, the best place on the map is these little chests, because they're going to give you these flower boxes that you can, or these heart boxes that you can open up, and they're going to give you additional resources. And then the last thing to talk about here, something they've added to several of these events lately. You can go to this little extra land here, and it will allow you to basically roll additional dice that will spin you around a smaller dice board game, and you'll get some, basically, like, usually it's like some cookies or some flowers, or like in this game mode, we can go over and look at some of them. Like, basically, you're going to get gifts, and you're going to have affinity for all these different champions. So it will come up here. I've already done on mine, so I'm on the recycle screen. But you're going to use those gifts. They'll tell you what you want. You put it into the box, and then you will get additional hearts for that champion. Once you get to 6 hearts, you're going to you'll get like a couple of extra rewards. I think it ends up being a couple of mythic selector shards, and then you can also earn some progress rewards here, which ends up being some pretty helpful rewards. You get some dice. But the big thing is, once you'll get a pretty decent amount of vouchers here. And then once you have completed all the affinity, you're going to just basically recycle all those additional gifts for extra vouchers. And it ends up being quite a lot. Over here in the store, I did a couple of things that I never recommend for non-spenders and light spenders to do. You can see I purchased a few packs already. I like getting those memento box packs, but those are 100% for whales only. Do not buy those if you are a min-maxer. I think that the anvil packs are pretty solid. The mythic selector shard packs are pretty solid. And then really like the best value you're going to get here, probably going to be these afterburners, the 240 ones. You know, pretty much like people who really want to min max should just buy all of those with whatever they have available. I suppose you could also try to go after these magic eyes if you are like super close. But again, my favorites are the afterburners and then the anvils and the mythic selector shards. Well, that's pretty much it. Pretty standard event here. It feels like the rewards are fairly decent. Let me know in the comments if you are a non-spender or a light spender. I really want to hear from you guys on all of these events going forward. And kind of what your luck has been. I'm sure it's not that great, but I want to hear from you guys because, you know, to the extent that I can provide feedback to the developers and they'll listen to me, would love to make sure that they understand how difficult it is for people who aren't spending to do these events. They've notoriously been fairly difficult, and I've always viewed these as basically do them if you're a spender, and if you're a non-spender, just, you know, get whatever free dice you can and use those, but that's, you know, you're not going to be able to spend a lot of time here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next one.